Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and welcome to Mickey in Minutes Live. This is MiM Monday, and yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Um, if you're new to this show, this is our live news discussion show. We're going to talk about the latest Disney news, and we're doing it live so that you can chime in if you're in the chat. Go ahead and write your comments down, and let's make this a conversation. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed on Spotify or Apple Music, thanks so much for tuning in, and leave your comments wherever you're listening. And don't forget that you could join the live show every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And also, what's going on to everybody who's watching in the future on YouTube? That's another place where you can watch the playback. So, hey, what's going on? So we have some cool news today. Hey, what's going on, Meg? Thanks for joining. Some cool news today to talk about. A lot of Epcot news, actually. Not a lot of stories to talk about today, but a lot of really interesting ones to talk about today. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. So, Disney announced today that in honor of our nation, the United States of America's 250th anniversary, they're doing some pretty big stuff over in the parks. So they're going to be doing they're calling it a new initiative called Disney Celebrates America. And it's going to kick off on Veterans Day 2025 and continue through the 4th of July in 2026. And so this whole thing that they're doing is it's going to be across the whole company. Hey, what's going on, Tim? Thanks for joining. It's going to be across the whole company, including ABC, National Geographic, ESPN, ABC News, Disney Consumer Products, and, of course, the Disney parks. And so the big news coming out of this that I think everybody is just so stoked on. I know that I am just extremely, extremely stoked on this. And that is they announced SOARIN Across America. Yes. So if you're not familiar with SOARIN, SOARIN is a amazing, now classic attraction over at Disney California Adventure and Epcot. It originally opened in Disney California Adventure on February 8th, 2001 as SOARIN over California. And that attraction is a classic. And then eventually SOARIN got brought over, I guess, to Epcot on May 5th, 2005, again as SOARIN over California. And then if you've been to SOARIN lately, you know that it's not over California most of the time. It's over the entire world. And so that is SOARIN around the world that has been in California Adventure since June of 2016 and in Epcot at the same time, June of 2016. And then they've been bringing in SOARIN over California in and out for different events here and there, more often in California. But I was lucky enough to catch SOARIN over California and Epcot a few years ago. But anyway, so the big news is another version, a third version of SOARIN, and that is SOARIN Across America. And this is going to be a limited run, so they say. I mean, so many things in the Disney parks they announce as a limited run, and then it ends up just lasting forever. So we'll see. But it's debuting summer 2026, and they didn't give an end date for this, but they did release an attraction poster, and it is awesome. It has like a big Statue of Liberty with an American eagle flying through the clouds over the landscape of America, but the America looks like it's colored like an American flag, and then it ends in an ocean with a beautiful sun rising out of it, and there's like a mountain range on the side. It's just as a proud American, it's just something that just makes you feel like all patriotic, which is exactly what it's going to be. And there isn't very much information about it. I know that Disney did share some information on the Disney Parks blog, very limited though. They should have some behind the scenes pictures of the helicopter with the camera and stuff. And but it's just going to be so cool. And they brought back Patrick Warburton to to do the, I guess, the spiel for it, right? But he has a video out right now where he's like, hey, welcome to SOARIN, doing his whole thing. And he's talking about soaring over America and how it's going to be over, from sea to shining sea, purple mountains majesty. And it's just so cool. And there's a part in the video where he has like he says these little beauties, and he's holding a pair of mini ears that are like American flag. And yes, in the chat, so excited. I see spread your golden wings. Yep. Man. So this is just such a cool thing. I got to work, and I just like opened my phone before I started working, and this is the first thing I saw, and I just got pumped. So pumped. America, yeah. So yeah, soaring across America. It's going to be cool. So Disney Parks blog says the new bi-coastal offering will be showcasing the United States from sea to shining sea, highlighting some of the country's natural beauty and iconic cityscapes. This will be brought to life with the iconic elements that make Soarin' unforgettable. The flight, the sights, the score, and even the scents. Walt Disney Imagineering is hard at work capturing more than a dozen breathtaking locations for the new flight. So if that doesn't get you pumped, then I don't know what does. So I saw this, and my wife and I were both immediately like, we got to book a trip. This is worth booking a trip for, right? Not just Soarin', but all the Disney. I love Disney Americana, right? There's some things that are just like classic Americana, apple pie, hot dogs, baseball games. And I think Disney parks, Disneyland especially. And, it's just something so patriotic, so American about walking down Main Street, USA. That Walt was, an American, obviously a patriot, someone who really loved our country. And so you really get a taste of that when you walk down Main Street, USA. And I really have always liked when they celebrate America. That's one thing I really like about the Carousel of Progress, the 4th of July scene, and just little things like that. So this is just going to be really, really cool. Any predictions in the chat? Let's hear you in the chat. Any predictions what landscapes or what cityscapes they are going to show in Soarin' Across America? Obviously we're here in Texas. I don't know. Maybe they could fly over the Alamo. I don't know. I live in San Antonio, so the Alamo came to my mind, right? But of course, there's so many great locations that they could fly over. Big Bend National Park in the chat. Montana for sure in there. Yeah, there we go. That's awesome. Obviously, I have a feeling they're going to do the Statue of Liberty in the same way that they do the Eiffel Tower and Soarin' around the world, where they kind of go up like that. I could picture that shot in my brain. Mount Rushmore, right? That should be one of them. Let's see, in the chat, New York, DC, Rushmore. Yep. So, I'm just so excited. It's just really great to see the Disney company celebrating America like this. It makes me really happy. So other things that are going to be happening during this, they're calling it Disney Celebrates America. Let's see. Good Morning America is going to be doing a 50 States in 50 Weeks series, or continuing it looks like. And I'm not sure what that is. I don't watch that show, but that sounds cool. National Geographic America in Superlative series. ESPN will do a sports center segment called America's Team, a cross-country search to find out which team most embodies the country, plus special patriotic programming across its flagship platforms. I don't know anything about football, but patriotic makes me think of the Patriots, right? I know that, if I'm remembering correctly, the Cowboys used to be called America's Team, right? Oh yeah, there you go. In the chat, Meg says if they say Cowboys, I riot. Maybe it could be the Miami Dolphins. You never know. I grew up in Miami, so. But I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna land on. If this is like a voting thing, you guys who watch football should vote. Tim in the chat. Let's go Pats. All right. I mean, it has the word patriot in the name. I feel like it's the most patriotic team just because of the name, right? So other things, in June of 2026, ABC Studios will present a 2-hour primetime special that journeys through the heart of our nation. I'm reading for Disney Parks blog, by the way. Well, where the real life spirit of iconic locales like New Orleans and the American frontier come alive through the beloved lands of the Disney parks. See, I get nervous when Disney uses the phrase American frontier because I don't think they know what the American frontier is, because they think it's, bayou country and cars. So let's see. I mean, it does say Disney parks, so that's obviously what they're going to be showcasing. But I just think it's really funny. The fact that they said that they're going to talk about the American frontier in this special, and it's tied to Disney parks, makes me think that we should all watch that, because we're going to get a lot of information about the upcoming Cars Land. Right? I was joking before, but I think that they're actually going to give us some new, fresh concept art and stuff to expect for the Magic Kingdom's Piston Peak National Park, which I've given a lot of gruff to, I guess. But now that the river is being torn apart, I mean, they just got rid of Aunt Polly's completely. It's gone. So now I'm starting to be like, there's no coming back for this, so we might as well embrace this Piston Peak National Park. And frankly, a national park themed land at a Disney park seems kind of cool. I wish they weren't doing it with Cars IP, but what are you gonna do? So more for this American celebration is it says, expanding beyond Independence Day, the beloved fireworks show Disney Celebrate America, a 4th of July concert in the sky, will play across all 3 nights of the holiday weekend, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, at both Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom. That's really cool. You're going to get more opportunities to see it if you're there. So, I think they're doing a good job pulling out, a bunch of the stops for this. Disney Consumer Products is also getting involved. And it says they're going to honor our nation's heroes with new special military-inspired merchandise. It's already available. I've already seen some of this stuff. They have hoodies that have the Disney logo but filled in with camo and stuff. So it looks really nice. I think this is really cool that Disney is really putting some thought and some effort into this and just coming together to celebrate our country. So there's a quote here from Bob Iger, and it says, at its heart, America's story is one of imagination, ambition, and possibility, the same ideals that have guided Disney since the beginning. This celebration honors both a nation and a spirit that never stopped dreaming about what's next. So great quote there from Bob Iger. And I think it's really cool. 250 years of America, and Disney is celebrating. So there's a word for the 250th celebration, and I can't remember what the word is, and I can't find it on here. But it was a word that I thought was difficult to pronounce. So anyways, are you guys excited for all of this stuff happening, especially SOARIN? Let me know in the chat. Throw in an American flag emoji if you're stoked for all the really cool things that Disney is doing to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our fantastic nation. So yeah, they're really doing a good job. But we do have more stories to talk about, and more Epcot stories to talk about, actually. So let's go from SOARIN at Epcot, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. This SOARIN update is happening at both Epcot and Disney California Adventure. They're both getting the SOARIN Across America update. Again, it's only temporary. Oh, there we go. Tim says it in the chat. Sesquicentennial. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Tim. So I could not remember that word to save my life, and I've already forgotten it. So, But yeah, so this cool Soarin' update is coming to both California Adventure and Epcot for a limited run. So make sure you get there as soon as you can to see it. I know I'm definitely going to make plans to try to get to Walt Disney World summer 2026 to check this out. So yeah, but going from Future World, or not, I guess not Future World, World Nature. There we go. That's where Soarin' is. All the way to World Showcase, more Epcot news. This time, let's head over to the France Pavilion. We have some Ratatouille news, which I'm really excited about. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm really excited about this. It was announced that soon Remy's Ratatouille adventure at Epcot will no longer be in 3D. They're converting it to a 2D show, which I think is fantastic because I do not like wearing 3D glasses. And I especially don't like wearing 3D glasses during rides, during attractions that move you. You know, not so much that I get sick. It doesn't make me sick. It's just, it's hard for me to focus, right? Like looking around at all the other things and I always have trouble keeping the glasses on my face for some reason. And I can't focus on the 3D. I hate it. It's a distraction to me. Let's see in the chat. My uncle, who's blind in one eye, can actually enjoy it now. Yeah, there we go. Megs says, totally agree. Happiest Disney mom. Too much going on. See, yeah. All right. So I'm glad we're all in agreement here that it's about time that Remy's Ratatouille adventure is going to 2D. And the one in Paris was actually announced to be getting this update first. And I know when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, I really hope this comes to Epcot. And it did. And not only that, but we're also getting a new, like, they call it a scene, but more like a new vignette in the queue. So they're really doing a big refresh to this. And that's going to be really, really cool. So it's going to close for refurbishment next month, and it'll be turned to 2D. And I don't think we have an exact opening date yet of the 2D version, but yeah, I think this is a big win. I think it's going to be more accessible to a lot more people. I know I've seen like a lot of kids on the ride, like constantly playing with the glasses and stuff. Like, all right, like I don't like wearing 3D glasses, especially in like Avatar Flight of Passage, because I always feel like they're going to fall off my face and I'm just going to lose them and it's going to land on somebody's head below me. So I'm always paranoid of dropping them, so I'm always adjusting them. You know, on Ratatouille Adventure, the same thing. And same thing with Star Tours. So I think that this is a great move. I think that the next one that should follow suit is Star Tours. I don't think Star Tours has any business being a 3D attraction. I don't think it brings anything to it. The original Star Tours wasn't 3D. So I think Star Tours needs to be next. And then let everything else follow suit. There's no reason for Avatar to be 3D either, honestly. You know, we have such great technology now with, you know, you ride Rise of the Resistance, and there's a lot of screens on that ride too. You know, the stormtroopers shooting at you are screens, Kylo Ren walking down the hallway, you know, like that's screen based. Even in the pre-show, you know, in the pre-show you have Kylo Ren and Hux, you know, standing there talking to you, and it's not 3D, it's 2D, and it looks fine. You know, it doesn't look bad. Even Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that's all 2D, you know, or what they call it, 2.5D for Runaway Railway. Like, we don't need 3D. In the chat, Happiest Disney Mom said exactly what I was thinking. 3D feels a little outdated now, she says. And I 100% agree with this. I was talking to Chelsea the other day about that exact same thing. You know, when 3D first started becoming popular, it was a fad. And every theme park was doing it, and it was cool for like 3D movies. I mean, Muppet Vision 3D really leaned in to the 3D aspect of it, you know, where it was, you know, cheap 3D tricks, and, you know, like it was just the spirit of 3D. Waldo, like they really leaned into it. That was the gimmick of the show, and that worked great, you know. And then you have stuff like PhilharMagic where, okay, it's a theater show, you're not really moving, that's fine. But for an attraction, I know it makes a lot of people nauseous to do 3D on an attraction. For me, it's just annoying. So big win. Big win. So drop a rat emoji. How about that? Drop a rat emoji down in the chat, or if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, leave me a comment of a rat emoji if you're excited for 2D. Or I guess maybe a 2 rats or a rat and a D. I don't know. But yes, Ratatouille 2D. That's exciting. And guess what? More Epcot news. Let's keep talking about Epcot, shall we? After a sip of water. There we go. So the news about Epcot, we've been talking about how, or the next news about Epcot, we've been talking about how Spaceship Earth has been down for a long time. Since before my last trip, which was a little over a month ago now, it's been closed. And surprise, it opened a week early. It reopened. Well, it started as like a soft opening, but I think it just stayed open. So, Spaceship Earth is open now. I haven't seen any ride-throughs of the video yet. I've read some other people's thoughts on this. I've seen that there's no major changes. It looks like they've just really paint and polish, right? Paint and polish, maybe tightened a couple screws, put some WD-40 on a couple of things, and that's about it. Like just a quick polish, and that's fine. Like, I'm okay that that's all they did, because it's better than nothing. There's nothing worse than watching an attraction slowly fall apart and having the Imagineers or whoever, park ops, do nothing to fix it. So every ride needs regular maintenance. That's something that I strongly believe in. Every single attraction needs regular maintenance. It's okay if it goes down for a little while. It sucks when it's during your trip, but if it means that it's keeping up with it and helping it look nice and perform well, then yeah. Down in the chat, Meg says, I love the ride the way it is. Now, I agree with that, but there are some changes that I do want to see happen to Spaceship Earth. I said on the last MiM Monday that I want to see that Paperboy turned around. Got to turn around the Paperboy. I want to see his face. But besides that, like I said last time, I really think the entire end of the attraction needs to be completely reworked. I don't want to sit there and do a little touchscreen in my attraction ride vehicle. I could do that on my phone. And like I said last time, that little thing where you have your photo and you pick the things about your future, and then it shows you a little cute video about this is your future. Like, that should be on the Play Disney Parks app. That we could do it anytime, or we can do it while we're in the queue. It doesn't need to be in the actual ride. We talked about 3D glasses being outdated in the theme park world. I think touchscreens in an attraction ride vehicle, outdated. And also, when they take your photo, it never looks good, so it's always weird. Yeah, see? Again, outdated technology. Happiest Disney mom, we're on the same page. So, yeah, they... when this goes down for a big refurb, I don't necessarily need the previously announced, story rework where it becomes about the history of storytelling. I don't need that, but I do need the end of the ride just reworked. Give us something else to look at. We look at screens all day. Don't make us look at a screen for the last few minutes of a ride. That's not cool. So let's fix that. But, it's open again. Hooray. I love Spaceship Earth. I really do. And I just want to see it restored. I can't say back to its former glory, but at least close to it. Give us more animatronics. The amazingness, the amazing Epcot-ness that Disney did with Test Track, 3.0 Test Track, is just like so Epcot. It blows my mind. I want that same treatment for Spaceship Earth. Just throw every Epcot, cliche and, homage that you possibly can at Spaceship Earth. And, let's give it the love it needs. So there we go. Spaceship Earth back open. So yeah, lots of really cool news. So I thought, I've been kind of unintentionally doing this every MiM Monday, but why not? Why not keep doing this? I want to end today's show talking about Christmas because, I'm extremely, extremely stoked for Christmas. And why not just talk about Christmas on every single show until Christmas, right? As long as Disney keeps giving us Christmas announcements, I'm ready to continue talking about Christmas. And it's the best way to close the show. So, the announcement that I'm going to talk about now is the Jingle Cruise at Magic Kingdom. They gave us an actual opening date for the Jingle Cruise. So if you don't know, the Jingle Cruise is the overlay that they do on the Jungle Cruise at the Magic Kingdom. They add some like Christmas decorations, and the skippers tell some like Christmas themed puns and jokes and stuff, and it's really cute. I've done Jingle Cruise a few times, and I love it. I love Jungle Cruise. I love Christmas. It's perfect. So yeah, Meg says she loved Jingle Cruise when she went. Yes, it's so funny. It's that's the perfect attraction to do a Christmas overlay. And they announced the opening date for Jingle Cruise. That is November 3rd. So pretty soon. Yeah, pretty soon. So I'm really happy that it's coming back. I know that Disneyland is usually the park that gets all the holiday overlays. They get Haunted Mansion Holiday for Halloween through Christmas. They get Small World Holiday. They're the ones getting all the overlay love, and Disney World doesn't really ever get that. So the fact that we do have Jingle Cruise as like pretty much our only overlay, not including party exclusives, right? Because they do stuff. They have the Space Mountain Christmas overlay that they do, which is amazing, absolutely incredible. They just like pump in like basically like Trans-Siberian Orchestra music and a bunch of lights while you're riding Space Mountain. I love it. It's one of my favorite things ever. But that's only for party guests. They do the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor like Christmas jokes overlay and stuff like that. But again, only for party guests. And I'm just really happy that we have like a legit overlay that's for everybody, right? You don't have to be a party guest to experience the Jingle Cruise. It's open all day. So even if you don't plan on going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which you should, if you're there during that time of year, I know it's expensive, but you really, really should consider checking out that or over at Hollywood Studios, Jollywood Nights. But I mean, no one does a Christmas party like Disney. Just saying. Jingle Cruise. I love Jingle Cruise. So, yeah. I see some Christmas emojis in the chat. So, yeah, drop down some Christmas emojis if you're excited for Jingle Cruise or just Christmas season in general. I know I am literally counting the days over here in my house. November 1st, day after Halloween, we start taking down fall and we immediately start putting up Christmas. Of course, that's partially because we have like 5 trees to put up and a lot of decorations, but also because we're big on Christmas, So lots of Christmas stuff to look forward to. Side note, there's a Jonas Brothers Christmas movie coming to Disney Plus, which I could not be more stoked about. My sister and I just saw the Jonas Brothers in concert on Saturday here in our hometown. Greetings from our hometown. And it was amazing, incredible. I love the Jonas Brothers. So Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, yes. I'm all for a Jonas Brothers Christmas movie. I'm ready. In the chat, Tim wants to know why you don't like Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is like it's the appetizer for Christmas. It's like you go to a restaurant and they bring like the bread service. Like Thanksgiving is like the bread service before your main course, which is Christmas. Yeah, Meg says, yes, it was epic. Jonas Brothers was absolutely incredible. So, Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, not mad about it. Oh, and also, in case you're wondering, along with that movie, Jonas Brothers are releasing a Christmas record. So, lots of Christmas. So, anyways, guys, this was so fun. I love MiM Mondays because I love talking to you guys about the latest Disney news. It makes me happy to share my thoughts with you guys, and I love that it's a conversation in the live chat. So, again, if you're listening to this on a playback on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching the playback on YouTube, please be sure, if you can, join next Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and be in the chat like these awesome people were tonight. So thank you guys for joining, and thank you all for listening and helping to make Monday magical. I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and thanks for tuning in to Mickey Minutes. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody?